Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of RE/MAX Associated Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com. Cindy Grossman. New York City born and raised, luxury retail management was her game. Saks Fifth Avenue and Nordstrom were her jewelry playgrounds. Had enough at 38, fled to Miami, where Neiman Marcus Bal Harbour found her. Recruited to Mont Blanc, where her regional position challenged her. Met her husband 4 years ago, and Brevard County she did go. COVID hit, she needed a new career fit. Age-defying beauty with Mary Kay, she did say. And now, here's Cindy Grossman.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Mesmerize the Mirror at Any Age. Mitch, I'm glad you came back for another episode.
I had to sneak back in this time. I don't know if you noticed, but thanks for letting me in.
Of course. We appreciate your point of view.
It's my pleasure.
And today we have an interesting show. I think it's apropos to things that are going on in the workforce and with companies today. We do have Helene Scott.
Excellent.
Helene Scott is the owner of LifeUnloc Coaching. Now listen carefully, because it's not maybe what you think it is with that title. Helene partners with organizations to help leaders navigate change, meet challenges, and overcome obstacles for better outcomes. Organization and individuals are unique, and one-size-fits-all solutions do not work. Through experience and customization, Helene helps her clients create paths with intention and purpose to reach their desired outcomes. Once clients can identify obstacles, respond thoughtfully to challenges, and understand how their styles influence effectiveness, moving past those barriers are achievable. Thank you so much, Helene, for being on.
Thank you, Cindy. I'm excited to be here.
It's going to be great, especially, like I said, with everything that's going on in the workforce. I mean, people after a year and a half are getting those calls. You have to come back into the office, and they're like...
Oh, they're terrified.
They're like, they don't want to go.
They don't want to go. They're terrified. People's anxiety levels are sky high. People are angry. Employee engagement is down, down, down.
So are you already getting those type of calls from the companies that you work with?
So what's interesting is some of my clients and their C-suite are questioning their life choices, their jobs, their ability to progress and grow, and they're just questioning everything. So normally I do executive coaching, which is more business strategy. But over the last, I'd say probably 9 months, I spend more time doing a little bit of life coaching with them too. I mean, we can't separate ourselves, right? We're human. Exactly. So even though we're business people and we work, we also bring our personal lives into everything we do. And they're spending a lot of time talking about their anxiety, their exhaustion. People who would come in to a coaching session, they'd be all excited and up, and they're like, you know, they're just tired. They're tired. They're lacking energy. It's really difficult.
So are you?
Why? Oh, I'm sorry. Why are they tired?
They're exhausted from not knowing what's going to be. They're exhausted from, you know, you work at home and you used to be able to drive away from work, even though you had your cell phone, you had email. But there was a fake division between work and home. Now you're working from home. You hear your emails going off. You have people calling you. It's like, it's nonstop. It's just nonstop. They're exhausted. And employees are having more trouble now doing the things that they need to be doing. So leaders have to do more.
I'm sorry. So part of the problem is a lack of separation between, excuse me, your job and your home.
That's some of it, but it's also the expectations. It's that people, you know, we used to be able to do things and rejuvenate and go on vacation. People are afraid to go on vacation. People are being told you need to come back to work. They're like, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to go into that office, and I don't want to add commute time. My commute time's been, you know, I walk from my bedroom into my office, and my little pit stop is my coffee in the kitchen. And now they're going to be adding an hour or two to their time. So people are just, they're tired. And some companies are saying, we'll let you know what we're going to do. So the unknown causes anxiety.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really difficult for people.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I've been hearing that. One day to the next, you don't know what the expectation is from the companies.
Yeah. I have a client who her company said, we'll let you know. Don't worry, we'll give you 30 days notice. She's like, 30 days notice? She's not in the state anymore. She actually came to Florida. So she's like, what am I going to do?
That's what a lot of them, a lot of people I know, New York City, the big cities, they ran. Yeah. And because they were able to work from home. So they ended up renting beautiful places. I know some people who rented a beautiful house on the beach in Fort Lauderdale. They were like loving it. Yeah. Scary
Very
times.
scary.
And I do know that a lot of people do not want to go back to that. They feel that they were efficient in what they were doing and how they were doing their job. Right. So you've been having workshops this whole time, I guess, also again on Zoom.
Yeah, my workshops have been on Zoom. I did one live before Delta hit.
Oh boy.
We thought we were getting back, and then Delta hit. So what I do is on Zoom, and even my coaching is Zoom.
Right.
Even when I started my practice before COVID, I did it so it could be on Zoom, so I could live anywhere.
Right.
And do what I wanted to do.
That's great.
Because I was looking for flexibility as well.
Excellent. And you recently did make a move, didn't you?
I did. I've been in Florida for less than 2 years. I moved to Florida February 28th, just as COVID was hitting, and I was hearing social distancing. I was like, wait, what? What are we doing? But I live at the beach.
Exactly. So at least you were able to go walk the beach.
Walk the beach. I could swim.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, very nice. I was living right outside D.C. in a high-rise.
Oh, boy.
Top floor. I wouldn't have made it. I would not have made it.
No, my
the isolation
nephew,
would have been horrible.
My nephew is in downtown DC. Yeah. It's been a crazy time.
Yep.
So tell us more about what an executive coach does.
Sure. So I am typically retained by a company. Sometimes people come to me directly, but for the most part, a company will contact me. There's one of two reasons they contact me. One is there's an executive who, either the CEO or the board or both, feel that this executive is not performing as expected. And so I come in and we have conversations to get them up to where they need to be. And then I have some organizations, and maybe not so funny, but to me it's kind of funny, the ones that do this are more the nonprofit, they do it more for development. So when they have people and they see talent in them and they want to develop them for succession planning, they have me come in and do coaching with them and help them come into an executive presence, help them to think like a leader. I transitioned a 23-year career in HR into my own practice, and I was an executive in HR. So, I know what it means to be an executive.
Especially in HR. I mean, I've worked for some huge companies, and I mean, I'm putting it out there, but there were plenty of executives who needed some coaching.
So even while I was in HR, I was running HR departments, and I was coaching the executives who were my peers. And sometimes I was coaching the people who could make the decision to terminate me, so you have to figure out how to provide feedback in a way that is developmental and respectful and caring and yet honest. You have to have productive conversations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember then it became a situation of retaliation. And if this one said something. I mean, it was not pretty.
Yeah.
So I can understand.
I have stories. We'll do a happy hour.
Yeah. That sounds good. I am crazy. Now, what would you say makes you different than other executive coaches? What's your niche?
I think because of my HR background and the fact that I was an executive, I went through this, I lived it, I felt it, I experienced it. I worked with executives who were spiraling down, and you knew what the next step was going to be. And I worked really hard to try to keep them from going down that path. And then, I know business. And I think that has helped me to be different and differentiate myself from other executive coaches. They don't have the backgrounds I have. I have a couple of clients who say, Helene, we like working with you because you understand business, you understand our lives, and you are HR. And you keep us from having, to get into trouble with HR. You keep us from stepping into it.
I could see that happening. Yeah. So at what point would a company reach out to you for some help?
Yeah. Well, it could be that they have someone who's not performing and they believe they have the ability to perform. and they want to help them get over that. They want to get them to where they need to be. Or like I said, the nonprofits that I'm working with, they bring me in to work with. So some of the executives are people they see as successors, and they want to help them get to that next level and really have the executive presence. And then one has had me come in and coach what they say are emerging leaders. They currently are individual contributors and they see value in them.
Okay.
So they have me coach them and teach them what it means to manage and lead people. So that's a lot of fun for me.
Now, with the non-for-profits, is that also fundraising? I mean, is that something that comes up in the coaching as well?
I don't do fundraising.
No.
I don't understand it.
Oh, okay.
But
so it's really leadership qualities.
It's leadership, yeah. But
okay.
they often are struggling with fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes that problem is communication. And so I use DISC, which is a behavioral assessment tool. And if you understand how you communicate and how others around you accept that communication because of your style and theirs, you can be far more productive. And we do a lot of work with DISC.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Sounds good. We're going to take a quick break and we will be back with Helene.
Why hire Cantwell & Goldman? At Cantwell & Goldman, PA, we take pride in what we do. That pride translates into better client service and better client results. At Cantwell & Goldman, PA, we provide high-quality legal solutions for individuals and businesses in Indian River and Brevard counties and throughout the state of Florida. Our experienced attorneys can help you with a range of legal issues, from defending a criminal charge, assistance with a commercial or residential closing, business transaction, or estate planning and probate matters. We are a full-service law firm specializing in estate planning, including trust and estates, as well as commercial and residential real estate and corporate matters throughout the state of Florida. Cantwell & Goldman, PA.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs, including lots of slipcover styles from Universal Upholstery, Four Seasons, and Capri. We also have a gallery of Tommy Bahama and Lexington furniture designed for a relaxed approach to the finer things in life. And right now, all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach next to Planet Fitness. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and also visit our outlet and closeout store directly across the street.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day. Sunshine Furniture, stop on in today and have a sunshine day.
You can trust Sandpiper Pest Control, serving Indian River, St. Lucie, and Brevard. Certified by the state of Florida to treat homes, lawns, and termites. Fully licensed and insured. Priced right, effective, and friendly.
Hi, this is Joel, the owner of Sandpiper Pest Control. Sandpiper can solve your pest issues. No contracts to sign, just results.
Call for a free estimate, 772-589-0204. Sandpiper Pest Control, a member of the iTex trading community. Your iTex dollars are welcome.
A great daily skincare routine can help with anti-aging, wrinkles, texture, tone, and elasticity. Cindy Grossman specializes in helping women look and feel their best with great skincare and cosmetics. Join Cindy Grossman's dream team and become part of the Mary Kay Sisterhood. Call 917-363-4641 to set up your one-on-one consultation.
And we're back with Helene Scott. Thanks again for being here.
Thank
Mitch.
you, Cindy.
Hello,
glad
hello.
Glad you're still here. Excellent. So we're talking about companies hiring Helene to help with their executives, which is important. Like I said, I've been through a lot with the executives from my companies.
Yeah.
Not pretty.
Yeah.
So when a company does hire you and everybody's on board, what can they expect from you? What kind of results?
Yeah, so what I do is I work with my clients once a week. It's 45 minutes, but then they also have access to me. They can text me, they could email me. If they have a meeting they're going into, they'll call me and we'll practice. So I give them the time. I typically meet with them and their leader once a quarter. And I don't talk to their leaders on my own. because I don't want to divulge anything that's confidential. So we're in the room together and we talk about expectations. We talk about how things are going, and we work from there. And when they work with me, I have one client, I love her. She says to me all the time, she goes, I'm really honored to work with you, Helene. I don't always like you though, because I'm very blunt.
Tough love.
Yeah. And also it's, when you make commitments to do something or you're looking at things a certain way and then you stop doing it, you need that little kick, right? You need someone to say, wait a minute, we talked about this last week.
Right.
Remember that? And they go like, oh, yeah. And we're on Zoom, so I could see the eye roll.
Oh.
So, it's not always easy, but it's work. But if you do this and you do this well, you're going to get the answers you want because we know what we need to do. Sometimes we just need a little bit of push, a little bit of learning, understanding your style, understanding someone else's, stopping from doing a repeat pattern that you do and say, okay, I know from DISC that I tend to do this and I should probably think about it before I just react. And that's really a gift. When you can learn that and you can then say, okay, stop the pattern, make the change, do it this way. I mean, the world's wide open. Yeah.
Helene, what are some common shortcomings that you see that the executives that you work with suffer from?
Yeah, this is easy. So they have their style and they just go in. And DISC D stands for dominant, and many of them are dominants. And they go in and they do their thing their way. And they speak to everyone the same way, and they're hard driving and they want results. That's why they're executives, right? Because they get the results and they push, but they're not thinking about the people that they're talking to. Mm-hmm. And there might be people on their team that fall under a different letter of DISC, meaning it has a different dominant style. And they have to learn how to change their communication. I teach them how to people read. So how they could figure out, because not everyone took a DISC, not everyone walks around with a sign that says, like me, I'm an ID, which is influencer dominant. So not everyone can do that. So they learn how to read people, and so they could figure out where they are, and then they could determine how best to speak with them so that they're getting the outcomes that they want. Because leaders have to set a vision, get alignment, and then implement, right? They need execution on it. But if you can't get people to buy in, or you're not being effective in speaking with people, you're just not going to have the results you need. And very often it's the communication piece.
Do you see that part of the communication piece that becomes a problem is based upon different age groups?
No.
Millennials versus different generations versus someone that's older?
No, I really do think it has to do with your style. We all have different styles. Now, granted, there are, the different generation changes that we have to think about. But if you understand someone's style and you can speak in a way that they can accept and hear you and understand, you're going to have success. So
sure. It's the communication. It's I'm coming in. It's the way I've always done it. That's the way that worked for me in my other position. And that's what you think is going to work in this position. Right. And that may not necessarily be the case.
Right. Yeah. And good leaders, excellent leaders, they change their style for the people around them and for their teams. They change the way they communicate. They change what they're doing. They don't expect you to just accept them the way they are. And I think that's a generational change.
I agree with that 100%, because when I would walk into a position as a managerial position in different companies, Neiman, Saks, it was always tended to be an older crowd, so to say. The team was older, 10 year. And the first thing I did was I was very laid back. I observed everything. I wanted to see what was going on. You can't jump and attack and immediately have expectations. I think your team has to get to know you as well as you need to get to know the team. And I've had, great success being that type of a manager. But unfortunately, there are executives that don't think that way. They come in and they're like, you're going to change and I want it done. And then
in no time, without even understanding the environment they're in, the culture, their people, they come in and they want to have a quick win. So they make a quick change. If you're making a change within your first 30, 60 days, even 90 days, I don't see a lot of success in that.
No.
Some people pull it off, but most times they don't.
No, not at all. So how do you approach an executive like that who, first of all, they know you're being brought on because something's not right.
Yeah.
So do you get a lot of retaliation in that sense?
I sometimes get pushback, and then I say things like, all right, let's look at the situation and, hey, how's that working for you?
Right.
And then they go, oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So, it takes, even with coaching, it takes a while to build a relationship.
Right.
And coaching's really personal. So I think that, I say all the time, if you're going to get a coach, you want to have a conversation with them and see if there's a fit. There has to be trust. So the first couple of sessions, they might be more fluffy than meaty, if you want to say it like that, because they have to get to know you and build that trust. So, and I always tell them, look, I'm really blunt. If you want to do the work and you want to learn, then I promise you we're going to get there. But if you want someone who's going to yes you, I am the wrong coach for you.
Well, because the bottom line is they know that you're working for the company.
Right.
And you're not working.
I'm not working for them. Right.
So it's pretty much shape up or ship out, I would think, right?
They have a choice, right?
For sure.
And I was coaching someone who chose at the end of the coaching, or we didn't even make it to the end, he decided to quit because he said he just didn't want to do the work.
Wow.
But you know what? That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's a good thing because it's better for the company because you don't have an employee that's not happy there. And you know what? It's also better for the employee because hopefully the employee will find a situation that works better for him or her.
Not every environment is a good environment for people. Not every culture is the right culture. And when you're feeling that tug and you know it's the wrong place, there's a lot of anxiety and anger and overwhelm. And we spend too much time at work. If you're there and it's not a fit, then it's okay to leave. And I respected him for saying, not doing it. I'll find someplace else.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree with that. Especially, as an executive, your company is investing in you, bringing in a coach to really try to help you. They're not firing you. Right. They're really giving you the opportunity to change. You have to be, you
have to be willing.
Ready and willing, for sure. Yeah. Other than the executive coaching, do you do any other services?
So I do DISC workshops. And I do them typically at the executive level. I work with small companies. So I'll do executives. I could do team meetings, do some executive retreats. What's really good is they learn about their style, their communication, others' communications, and how they need to work together. Oftentimes there's dysfunction. Particularly at that level, you have a lot of strong personalities. So understanding each other really helps. And then it funnels down through the rest of the organization. DISC is not a one and done. You can't have someone come in and do a DISC workshop and it's like, poof, magic. Everything's wonderful now. We all know how great we are. It's really adopting it as part of your culture. And when organizations do that, they have success.
Can you please give us some contact information with the time we have remaining if someone's interested in learning more about your services and what you do and how they can be helped?
Sure. So my website is www.lifeunlockcoaching.com. And my email is Helene at LifeUnloc. And by the way, unlock does not have a K. And it's not an error. It's purposeful. So my email is Helene at LifeUnlockCoaching.com.
Terrific. This was fantastic. Thank you so much.
This was so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
I love what you're doing, and I love how you're helping people.
Thank you.
This is really great. Thank you.
I'm sure there's a lot of HR managers who are going to look you up because they certainly need help.
Look for me on LinkedIn, Helene Scott.
Great. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mitch.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mitch.
Mesmerize the mirror at any age.